Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to do the instant match reaction of Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1, where Emile Smith-Rowe was the only person to get on the score sheet, and now we're going to look at the key highlights of the match and give my point of view. So the first key highlight of the match was the fact that Chelsea were dominant from the first minute and they had a very good opportunity, but it was a miss after none of the Arsenal defenders spot Kai Havertz's run off the back of them, and he's teed up by Jorginho. He drives into the box and lifts his shot over Bernd Leno, who rushes off his line, but it's too high and sails over the crossbar. And when I saw that one-on-one opportunity with Kai Havertz and the Arsenal defenders, it was a poor pass from Gabriel Magalhaes, who I thought was really shaky this game, but also somehow managed to keep a clean sheet. And Pablo Mari couldn't do much, but he should have ran to the ball instead of letting the ball come to his feet. And Kai Havertz had a good opportunity, and with Kai Havertz being a very cool attacker, someone that knows how to take these high pressure situations and take it very calmly and coolly, I thought it was a huge miss by Kai Havertz. He should have put that one away. He had done very good in that one against Real Madrid versus Courtois when he just chipped the goalkeeper and hit the crossbar, but this one he skied it to a large extent. So the next highlight of the game was the fact that Emile Smith-Rowe scores, and it was a very bad pass by Jorginho after he played a blind back pass to Kepa Arrizabalaga, and the keeper has to scramble back to keep it from crossing the line. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is there onto latch onto the loose ball, and it pulls it back for Emile Smith-Rowe, who is left with a tap-in into the empty nets, and it's 1-0 to the Arsenal. And with Emile Smith-Rowe pretty much very lucky with the shot, because it's a very scuffed shot with his left foot. It ricocheted somehow into the bottom right hand corner, hit the post, and also got very lucky to get the first goal. But if Arsenal did concede that goal from Kai Havertz when he had that one-on-one opportunity, I think Arsenal conceded 2, 3 or 4. But they were very lucky with the only possible goal. I just remind you of the time versus Liverpool when Arsenal were given 2 gifts of a goals, and that's pretty much what happened this time with Chelsea, and with Jorginho letting Arsenal get the first lead. And then after, it was just Chelsea just dominant from that minute onwards, because Arsenal, after that goal, pretty much sat back, and it was just pure dominance from Chelsea after Pulisic makes a driving run down the right and Azpilicueta slides into him. He pulls it back from the byline for Mason Mount in the middle. He hits the shot first time, but Pablo Mari is there to make an important block. And then there's another opportunity where Kai Havertz goes well to turn away from Elneny on the edge of the box, and he touches it into Mount ahead of him. He sets himself before firing a shot across the goal, but Bernd Leno is there to push away. And there was other opportunities as well where Ben Chilwell does well to keep hold of the ball under pressure from bukayo Saka, and he drills a low cross which is pushed away by Bernd Leno. He gives it straight to Mason Mount. He tries to poke it on goal, but his effort is blocked by Elneny. And Mason Mount was pretty much someone that's been a key player for Chelsea, and he had 3 opportunities to make it 3 goals, or at least 1 out of the 3 opportunities, but also lucky not to concede. And he just gave me those vibes back last season where Arsenal were just very defensive. And in terms of the first half, a Chelsea mistake gives Arsenal a 1-0 lead at half time. Jorginho played a blind back pass to Kepa Arrizabalaga, which left the keeper scrambling back to his line to prevent an own goal, but Arsenal capitalised when Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was there to set up Emile Smith-Rowe for a tap-in. Chelsea did grew into the game without causing Leno too much trouble, with Mount having a couple of chances saved by the keeper. And Arsenal were very lucky, to be honest, because whatever happens, it was just all bad play by Jorginho. Even if he'd done a back pass and Arsenal didn't score somehow from the opportunity, it should have been given a penalty or a red card or something like that, because it's a handball, so he'd probably get a yellow card from the goalkeeper. But knowing English referees, they're not very good at refereeing, and when it comes to the first half, Arsenal pretty much went lucky, and then probably Mikel Arteta was the word, was probably they just had to play on the counter-attack, and that's what they pretty much done in the second half. But you can clearly see that Chelsea were very dominant from the second half, because Thomas Tuchel probably just gave him one of the biggest warnings of all time. And then Pulisic did score. The corner is whipped into the middle of the box by Mason Mount again, and Kai Havertz rises highest to flick it on towards the far post. Nobody has picked up Pulisic's run, and he nods it over the line from close range, but VAR is having a look at this, and it was no goal, because it was only a quick check from VAR, and Pulisic wasn't offside when the corner was initially taken, but he has strayed too far forward by the time Kai Havertz flicked it on, so this one didn't count, and it was still 1-0 to the Arsenal. And you can clearly see that Arsenal are still shaky. There was a moments where they had a lapse of concentration. They weren't focused in that moment of time. And Chelsea did capitalise on the situation. Arsenal, I think for Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, what he should have told in that dressing room was to counter-attack. But they were very defensive, and that's what led to pressure to come from Chelsea, and they had the opportunities, but also very lucky not to concede a goal, in my opinion. And as I said, it's giving me those vibes back in last season where we were very defensive with the back three, and they're just all the time shaky. And then pretty much after that, Pulisic had another opportunity as he gives it to Giroud. He does well to keep the ball after Emil Smith-Rowe slides in, and he squares it to Callum Hudson-Odoi to set it up down the left-hand side. He calls an early cross into the box, and Pulisic meets on the stretch, but it's a comfortable save by Bernd Leno at his near post. But then it was a great save by Bernd Leno because Chelsea are throwing everything they had at Arsenal, but their final ball into the box is really letting them down. Kurt Zouma rises high to head onto James's cross, and Leno tips it onto the crossbar. Giroud follows it in though, and he fires his shot on the turn, but it rebounds off the crossbar. Another opportunity where Chelsea push, but they just can't find a way past Arsenal's defence. CH cuts inside from the right-hand side and goes for goal from just outside the box. He's trying to lift his shot over the defenders, but Gabriel Magalhaes is there to head it clear. And that one opportunity from Kurt Zouma where he just made a goal, score a goal from out of nowhere, it was just a different hard header to do, and he just very good at headering. But Arsenal do get the win versus Chelsea. But what does it mean for Mikel Arteta? Well, it's another 3 points. Arsenal want to get into the pretty much the European Conference League, in my opinion. Everton still have 2 games in hand ahead of Arsenal. They need like 3 or 4 points to reach Liverpool, who are in 6th position. We have to wait and see what happens at the end of the season. Anything could happen, but I do not really hope I don't think Arsenal will be making it into the European places. We have to wait and see. Maybe the European Conference League. That's such a downgrade for Arsenal fans, but we have to wait and see what happens. But it's a decent win by Arsenal to get rid of those embarrassing records for Arsenal. But other than that, guys, remain blessed. Stay tuned for the next video, and peace.